Quite simple. Insinuations made about me are of course false, unsubstantiated, and unsupported by any evidence that I knowingly participated in or supported a plan to remove or arrest senior SAPS officials. I was approached by IDAC and cooperated transparently about matters that had already arisen in a public portfolio committee on police meeting, just as I later cooperated transparently with the PKTT. I have a long and very public record of demanding accountability irrespective of the individual or institution involved. So I'm quite comfortable for my conduct, my affidavit, and the actual evidence to speak for themselves. Even Advocate Ramsamy conceded that her interpretation may have been wrong. What does concern me is that top secret information concerning my family and I was apparently being shared between Perumal and Advocate Ramsamy on WhatsApp. That in itself raises serious questions.
Advocate Johnson was explaining that we must go and have a discussion and see if we can have an agreement to share information with the IGI. And at some point, someone said that IGI can't give us their reports because they are confidential or top secret and designated for specific, either the president or the minister. And on the 23rd of January 2025, Mr. Perumal and Padiachi gave feedback on the consultation held with General Khan. Present during this session, or that session, was Mr. Padiachi, Perumal, and Rapesu, and me. Once again, this consultation with Khan was done without my knowledge. They informed us that General Khan told them that General Khumalo did not have top secret clearance. According to General Khan, notwithstanding the absence of top secret clearance, General Madondo had called General Khan and told him to give the new DivCom CI. General Masia Mola had called General Khan and told him to give the new DivCom CI, General Khumalo, support, and that he, General Khan, should follow up on the vetting process of General Khumalo. Mr. Perumal seemed to think that this was compelling evidence of wrongdoing on the part of General Masiamola.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, SAPS. Chairperson, I'm beginning to question the role that this committee plays. And the input from SAPS is extremely concerning, Chairperson. On the 5th of March, I asked a handful of questions. We are now in April. They are still not answered. The fact that these generals before us, who are supposedly accountable to this committee, are refusing to answer to this committee is very worrying. And I'm not referring to the purchasing of those hotels with our tax monies. I'm referring to very simple questions. I'm referring to the issue of security clearances. But let me spill the bag right here. Only one police commissioner in this country has a valid security clearance. It's the commissioner from the Northern Cape. No one else does. As a matter of fact, the DivCom of Crime Intelligence had a security clearance, but it wasn't a valid one. It was cooked. He now has a valid one. But the PCs in general shouldn't be in their positions. Now, Chairperson, this brings me to a very serious query. Do these people belong on this committee? Anything that they've signed off can be questioned. Any decision that they've ever taken can be overturned on the simple basis that they don't have the valid security clearance to be in the position to be operating there, as per the Satoli report. Now, I'm going to move on from that, Chairperson, and ask of this committee, is it okay to have generals lie to us? Because we were told that all SR-funded vehicles were removed from management and given to operational duty. That wasn't true, because the DivCom, General Madondo, and General Shaba are still driving SR-funded vehicles to this day. It was a blatant lie. When IPID comes here and tells us that General Shaba was in actual fact the victim, and therefore his case was never handed over to the courts, or it was never, or whatever the crappy explanation was, here are the facts. General Shaba took a prostitute home. He let her into the house. She stole his property, but he reported a burglary. That, sir, is defeating the ends of justice. If IPID is going to come here and tell us that this was the result of our investigation, let them bring General Ushaba's statement to this committee. Let this committee see what he said and see what they did. This is nothing but the massive cover-up. Now, Chief, here's the most concerning part of all. And I'm handing this directly to the DivCom, to General Kumalo. Firoz Khan was before a disciplinary hearing when you advertised his post. Crime Intelligence had decided ahead of time to dismiss General Firoz Khan, and therefore they advertised his post. Now, Chief, is this what we're allowing? On the issue of the hotels, I have no problem at all with SAPS taking this to the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. The committee is there for a reason. My problem is that on that committee, only sit representatives from two parties, only the DA and the ANC. Us smaller watchdogs that are truly holding this committee to account, we are being left out. But the bigger problem is, it was us smaller watchdogs.
Sorry, Honorable Adam, sorry, I just want to correct you there. A lot of certain other people from other parties didn't want to be vetted. Just a correction. We can continue.
Thank you, Chief. The point I'm trying to make, Honorable Chairperson, is that it was smaller parties like this one that brought the issue of the hotels to this committee. So my question is SAPS going to pick and choose what they want to disclose? Are they going to say, no, we won't answer here, we'll take it there? Because if that is the case, then we might as well save the taxpayers some money and close this committee, because if these people are going to come here and tell us, no, we don't want to answer, yes, we'll answer next week, and then 4 weeks go by, if they're expecting us to shut up because they are going to keep lying and covering up, then this is not on. With regards to the political killing stars team, it should have been closed, but it wasn't. But there's a bigger issue here for me, right here. A good man was shot dead with an AK-47 purchased with the money overseen by General Kumalo. I want the committee to allow this to sink in. Our tax monies bought an AK-47, which killed a man who couldn't be bought. And nothing's being said about that. Thank you, Chairperson.
I think, Honorable Chair, maybe maybe you give us time that we come with the whole list of whoever has security clearance and who not. Yes, within the senior management, there are those that don't have, those that either they did not submit their necessary documents. So in that regard, action is being taken, and as I talk now, I issued directive that all the 800 plus SMS members, those that don't have, because it's not to say the whole 800 don't have, those that don't have they've been given time that by so date you must have submitted all the outstanding documents, and so that we can vet them, and the target for crime intelligence vetting this year is 1,500, and the SMS we have 840 something. So they will be able to finish the whole SMS in terms of vetting this current year, Honorable Chair. With regard to the security clearance of General Madondo, I'm sure the General Kumalo will talk more on that, Honorable Chair. But I expect Honorable Adams not to select facts, that whenever he get facts, he should get it proper, because the facts that he's putting forward are not complete. And I wouldn't know why would he choose not to get all the facts. Honorable Chair, Major General Madondo was convicted of an assault, not alone as a team, somewhere some 15, 20 years ago, when he was still a sergeant. In the course of their duty, they were convicted for an assault, and they were given whatever sentence they were supposed to be given. And as I said, Honorable Chair, I'm saying it's more than 15, 20 years when she was still a sergeant. of which after that, she has been promoted many a times, and she did get security clearance also, and which expired. So now that when she applied for security clearance now, and then the point is raised that you were convicted some 20 years ago of a assault of somebody that was arrested. Whereas between now and then, she did have a security clearance. The same people of that are doing the security clearance, there is a bit of a question: how can they come to that determination? General Khan, security clearance, also there were issues of questionable about the issue of I think a safe house. Hence, the divisional commissioner said that the security clearance of these two will not be done here in the crime intelligence because already there's a problem. He referred the security, the two to be vetted by SSA so that there is pure independence in both matters. Because, hence I said, I would have understood if Honorable Adams says Madondo, after he was a sergeant, he was promoted to a warrant officer. Somewhere in life, she did have a security clearance. Somewhere in life, she became a captain, she became a lieutenant colonel, she became a colonel, up to where she is, Honorable Chair. And it's quite interesting also from those that were doing the vetting, then to go and raise that matter which they didn't raise before. But I think it's fair that both this security clearance for the two officials have been referred to somebody else to deal with that matter. But as I said,
one question that maybe was also raised by Honorable Adams regarding the advertisement of one of the posts at senior management level. The post of the component head of counter and security intelligence was advertised because it was, and it's still vacant. It is going to be re-advertised. Major General Khan was and is appointed as a component head of operational intelligence support. That is the post. So the post that is vacant is the one of counter and security intelligence. But then that confirmation can also be acquired from the divisional commissioner, human resources.
The NASCOM is wasting our time. The NASCOM omits the fact that General Madondo did apply for security clearance, and she failed the polygraph, and she was allowed to continue in the job. And this is what I'm saying, Chairperson. This is the source of my frustration. It's the back and forth, the lies and the omission by the heads of SAPS. We expect our communities to comply with the law, but the NASCOM won't. General Madondo won't. General Ushaba won't. What are we doing here? Yes, Chairperson, this is actually for General Masimola. I have confirmation from the Inspector General's Office of Intelligence that General Madondo has no security clearance. The information that I have separately from that is that she does not have security clearance because of a conviction when she was, I think it was a sergeant. The question to General Masimola is, how was this person allowed to skip through the ranks, being promoted all the way to Major General, second in charge of crime intelligence? How do we have someone with criminal tendencies being the backup leader to intelligence, national intelligence? And then I want to ask of General Masimola, seeing as he didn't know, now that he knows, if this woman is going to be allowed to perform these functions. It is a serious concern. Then also, Chairperson, I want to throw this at the committee. In light of the fact that these people are operating in positions they should never have been, should they not be repaying the money? Because our tax monies has in actual fact been wasted on unqualified people for years. And then lastly, to General Masimola, who I believe obtained his security clearance last year. Maybe he'd like to explain to this committee how he was operating in the position as National Commissioner for a 5-year term without security clearance. Thank you, Chairperson.
It's an affidavit by Mr. Ian Cameron, and if you go to page 2820, it was deposed and commissioned on the 9th of April 2025 in Cape Town by Mr. Brian Padiachi.
Confirm.
Okay. And just to give context, Mr. Cameron says at page 2820 that at paragraph 4, I, together with members of my committee, are primarily responsible for oversight to ensure effective law enforcement within SAPS. And then at 5, he says, as chairperson, I convened a portfolio committee meeting on Wednesday, 2025-0402, online with members of the committee, senior managers from the Office of the Minister of Police and senior management of the SAPS, led by General Fani Masimola. And he sets out certain events in there, but then I want you to go to 2821, paragraph 8, he says some committee members were not satisfied with the SAP's management responses. However, in the absence of factual evidence, I intervened and closed the agenda point and moved to the next item on the agenda. Then at paragraph 10, which should actually be paragraph 9, importantly, he says, I suspect that the senior management of the SAPS, led by General Masimola, misled the portfolio committee in answer to several questions posed to them. To confirm exactly where the committee was misled, it will be prudent for the committee's recording of the meeting to be compared with the evidence available in the relevant crime intelligence files. So from what he seems to be saying in here is that General Masimola and whoever was in that committee meeting from SAPS had effectively misled, lied to the committee. And we know now from your notes on page 5 at file 11 that Advocate Johnson said you mustn't tell the National Commissioner about the investigation. Let him lie to the committee. He'll be caught in a lie. And Mr. Cameron was one of the committee members who was engaging with IDAC at the time and knew that there was an investigation at the time, correct?
From this affidavit and from the notes, correct.
Thank you.
I was instructed that the takedown for Mr. Lushaba and the 3 others was to take place on the 7th of May, plus minus 7th of May.
Our main witness as the ad hoc committee alleges that the arrest of General Khumalo is as a result of a project to stop criminal investigations, particularly in Gauteng. And IDAC was used as an ammunition to actually effect that project. What is your view on that?
As indicated, it is an unfortunate and untrue narrative. We were not aware of the matters they are doing. And if we were not referred the Matlala matter, we would not have been involved in anything related to anyone they referred to.
So in the affidavit by Mr. Adams, he says, how did he get hold of the intelligence information?
In the referral, he indicates documents were put under his door. He does not say by who. He does not say what documents. He said documents were under his door.
Okay, I will paraphrase it, Commissioner Khumalo. I started on last week Thursday by saying that the evidence I'm going to provide to the Commission will demonstrate that there was an orchestrated attack and plan to arrest people. So, and I said it earlier, and I said it again now, common sense doesn't prevail. Regulations don't prevail when manipulation is happening. Before I deal with the events that transpired from the 6th of December 2024, I want to make it clear that Advocate Johnson and Mr. Perumal launched an orchestrated attack on General Masiamola and Lieutenant General Khumalo using IDAC's powerful investigation tools.
Advocate Johnson, were you saying that you are investigating General Masemola and General Mkhwanazi, or you investigated them and you found no evidence? Which is it? Are they under investigation, or you had investigated them and you've moved on to other matters?
So, to be clear, Chair, there was an investigation in which both are implicated, a matter arising out of IPID. In terms of the allegations for that matter, there is insufficient evidence for me to move against the both of them. And I also did, when the stories came out about IDAC has warrants of arrest for General Masemola, I did something I wouldn't ordinarily do. I called him personally. I said to him, General, if you hear the story, it is not true. There are no warrants for your arrest. Happened 2 times thereafter as well. He is the National Police Commissioner. I afforded him that respect. So I do not have an investigation against them in the manner that was put to me, Chair.
During the 6 November 2025 ad hoc committee, Ian Cameron was present during the Andrea Johnson's evidence, but there was no substantive questioning or exchange between Cameron and Johnson, and that is remarkable. Other members of the committee questioned her, including on the allegations that IDAC was involved in a coordinated attack against Masemola, Mkhwanazi, Khumalo, crime intelligence, but Cameron Ian was quiet throughout the meeting until it ended. General Masemola was taken down on April 2026. See you on the next one.